I went to Iran to meet up with my fiance. I had no idea that she'd been co-opted by the regime to draw me into a trap.
I saw no future. I couldn't study, I couldn't have a decent job. They banned me from everything. I was the youngest person in the whole prison. And one of my cellmates said they brought in an American.
Why you wanted to talk to him?
Because I liked America and Americans. I liked freedom. I would fight for it.
How did that make you feel? That the fact that he took the risk to help you out?
To me, he was like a brother. I made a promise to him because he was such a unique individual that whenever I get out and I get back to the U.S., I will do everything I can to help bring him to America.
Hello everybody, I'm Franklin Camargo and welcome to this special presentation. If you didn't wake up today feeling grateful to live in the United States, after this interview, I promise you will. Because here, you can speak freely. I grew up under Venezuela's socialist tyranny, and when I spoke out, the regime labeled me a terrorist. Today you'll meet two men who understand the same truth in a different way. This is the story of one American and one Iranian, two strangers whose lives collided inside the prisons of the Islamic Republic of Iran, and who helped each other survive, escape, and finally find freedom here in the United States. Michael, Mahdi, thank you so much for being here. I want to start with you, Michael. You're a US Navy veteran. What happened to you in Iran?
Well, basically, I went to Iran to meet up with my fiance, who I'd known since 2012, to discuss our relationship. And on the last day that I was there, on my way to meet with her, I was apprehended by Iranian intel agents.
Mahdi, you were born in Iran. What happened to you there, in your country?
Yeah, so I was born there. I grew up in Iran, a normal family. And when I was a teenager, I kind of started to gain interest in politics and started protesting the government. And so they arrested me and I was in jail for 1 year for political reasons. So it started at 2016 and I was arrested many times, but the longest I've been in jail was at 2018 to 19.
That's an interesting time, actually, and we'll be talking about that later. But, you mentioned a fiance. You met this woman online, right?
We met online on a Yahoo chat room, and she was trying to learn English, and she happened to message me and said she was looking for an American to learn English with. So we started kind of practicing together over the next few weeks and months. And over that time, a relationship developed. And the first time I went to meet her actually in Iran was in May of 2014. I flew to a place called Kish Island, Iran. It was a very good time. We called it our pre-honeymoon.
Okay, pre-honeymoon. And then you're back in the States. And then what?
She asked me to come back to Iran to discuss our relationships and perhaps go to Turkey afterwards, get married. I arrived there on a Thursday. And in the following Tuesday, she sent me a message where she told me that she couldn't see me anymore and that I should get back to my country, which wasn't really possible at that point because my flight, the one I had arranged to leave, wasn't until Sunday, July 21st, 2018. Wow. So for the next few days, of course, I was trying to persuade her to see me and explain what's going on. And she was pretty resistant to that. I had no idea that she'd been co-opted by the regime to draw me into a trap.
So walk me through the day that you were taken, that you were arrested. Where were you?
Sam and I had finally agreed to meet with me. I said, okay, great. I got dressed up in my best clothes. My tour guide called me when he arrived at the hotel. I went downstairs. From that point, we start driving down the road from the hotel. I'd sent the message to Sam and I, letting him know I was on my way. And we come up to another road where there's a roundabout. And as we're starting to go around, a car cuts right in front of us. As someone starts to move around, and the car does it again. This time, somebody in the front passenger seat rolls down his window, starts waving his hand. It's a regular car, by the way. Nothing unusual.
Were they wearing any uniforms?
Nope.
Just regular civilians, clothes. Regular people. They're dressing like regular people in a regular car.
Yep. So we pull over, the car pulls in front of us. The guy in the front seat, when he exits the car, he immediately points a video camera right at us. Another guy comes up right beside my door, opens it up, pulls me out, handcuffs me. It takes my stuff. They took me to this intel facility, had me blindfolded, had me walk upstairs to some point into some office. That's all. And then they took it off, had me strip off my clothes, took a picture of me, then had me put on a orange jumpsuit. Once again, they weren't explaining why I was there at all. I just come off cancer treatment, so I wasn't in very good shape at that point either. I still had the port in my chest. So
And there were any interviews? Were they trying to make you say
they
something?
did interrogation on me. They record the sessions and they tell me to say certain things at some point. If I didn't say it the way they wanted and they thought I wasn't cooperating, they would take a taser and put it in my face and threaten to shock me with it. They wanted me to create a false story of why I was in Iran, not because I was there for Salmone, the girl I was marrying, but basically to say that I was there to try to spy, basically. They wanted me to create a spy story about why I was there. It was really crazy.
And you had recovered from cancer how many years before this is happening?
It was only a few months after I finished. I just started regrowing my hair. I still had something called a port implanted in my chest.
Wow.
I was still, my immune
You're
system
still
was still
recovering.
Yeah.
How many days or weeks you were in that intel facility?
From July till September.
Wow.
So about a couple months I was there before they moved me to Mashhad Central Prison.
You arrived to that prison, and what do you see?
It's overcrowded. It was kind of dirty. You see flies, black mold on the ceilings. Not very sanitary.
And Mahdi, you were sent there as well. You saw this American, and what was your impression or your first thought?
The first day I got there was the first day that Michael got there. So
Okay.
I went inside and I was the youngest person in that whole section of the prison. And I was scared. And one of the other cellmates came to me and said they brought an American person to the prison.
So you saw him?
I slept that night, and the morning, like, someone came, woke me up and said, yeah, the American guy is in the yard. There was like a very little yard that they had. I thought, okay, let's go talk to him.
Why you wanted to talk to him?
Because I liked America and Americans. We are on the same team because I'm against this government and he's from America, which this government sees as the greatest enemy. So we kind of get to talk like a little bit every day. So we just know each other briefly.
Okay, so you guys arrived the same day. And after a month, you get out for 1 day. And then you are back for a week. And then you get out again. For how long?
For almost like 6 months.
6 months. And do you think about Michael during that period of time?
Yeah, so one thing that was weird, that there was no news about him. I tried to contact some news channels and US State Department to tell them that like there's an American citizen.
So you wanted to contact American media outlets.
Yeah.
To let them know, hey, there is an American who is here in Iran.
Yeah.
And he's in prison.
Yes. But like I did send my messages, but I kind of didn't get any answer. And after like a few months later, I saw that some of the news outlets are publishing the news about him.
We learned today that a Navy veteran from California has been jailed in Iran. Michael White's family reported him missing after he failed to return from a trip there.
Today, the Trump administration issued a public call for Iran to release innocent American detainees.
And Michael, do you know that he was doing that?
I wasn't aware of anything that was going because I had no contact with them.
Yeah.
I had no contact with anybody outside the prison because I couldn't make phone calls. I couldn't use the internet. I couldn't write letters. I couldn't have visitors. So I didn't know anything that he may have been doing to try to assist me at that point until he came back in April, which was unexpected for me. And I saw him.
And you were like, what are you doing here? You're here again. So when you guys met again, it's been 6 months since the last time you guys saw each other. What do you tell him? You tell him, hey, I've been contacting and reaching out to American media outlets and the State Department.
Yeah, so this time when I was sent back to prison, our friendship got formed and we got like more close because we were in the same cell and we got like much more time to talk. I was one of the few people who spoke English, so we talked a lot about many different subjects.
So you didn't have the opportunity to contact your family at all? What did your mom think during that time?
I'm not sure exactly what she was thinking. I wasn't able to obviously make contact with her or anybody else. So Mehdi suggested the idea that he was going to be going on furlough again real soon. And he suggested the idea that I could write a letter and he would take that letter out and try to get it to my family. If I can give him contact information, he would try to get in contact with them to inform them on my condition. He gave me a notebook and I filled out information on that and I discreetly returned it to him because I didn't want anybody to, because of the cameras in the cell, I didn't want anybody seeing that.
What was the strategy? What were you thinking about?
I didn't know like how much they're gonna search me and what can I take with me. So it was very risky, but I thought I'm gonna do it. Like I'm gonna try my best to hide it and take it out. And he wrote things in the notebook that I had and he gave me like the contact information for his mother. So I smuggled the letters out between my different belongings. Like I kind of put it there in a way that it wouldn't catch attention. And if they look through it, it's like, yeah, I'm just taking my things out. And it was successful.
What could have happened to you if they found out that you were,
Espionage and like spying against the regime is punishable by death.
you could have been executed.
Executed.
So you took the risk to be executed to help Michael. Why?
Yeah. Well, we were fighting, like I was fighting against the regime and he was the victim of the regimes. I hate these people now. I like freedom. So
Yeah.
I would fight for it.
How did that make you feel? That the fact that he took the risk to help you out?
I had a sense of gratitude and concern from him. And to me, he was like a brother and like a little brother. And I made a promise, whenever I get out and I get back to the U.S., I will do everything I can to help bring him to America. And I meant that.
Thank you very much and good afternoon. Last night, at my direction, the United States military successfully executed a flawless precision strike that killed the #1 terrorist anywhere in the world, Qasem Soleimani.
So we're in 2020. Soleimani was neutralized. The U.S. government is paying more attention into what's going on in the Middle East. And you also got sick in prison, right, in 2020.
And the World Health Organization has just declared a global coronavirus. It is a pandemic at this point.
I contracted the coronavirus circa March 2020, and the Iranian regime was more or less, they were concerned when I started reporting these symptoms, so they started checking my health more seriously than they had before. They basically sent me to the medical department and then sent me to an outside hospital. They didn't specifically test me for that, but as a result of the news of this, the corona going around and my symptoms matching that, I had a meeting with the warden and a translator and informed me that I was going to go on medical furlough. The Swiss ambassador and the representative from the American Interest section came to the apartment I was at, and they informed me that day, it was kind of sudden, that I was, Iran was agreeing to release me. I couldn't believe it. From there, they took me to the Tehran airport. Then I boarded a Swiss jet to Zurich, Switzerland.
A free man, Michael White, the U.S. Navy veteran, had been held by Iran for almost 2 years.
When the U.S. government discovered my whereabouts, they basically pressured the regime to release me for virtually nothing. There was an Iranian American who was apprehended for trying to export medical products to Iran. He was in prison. He was an American citizen, though. The U.S. agreed to release this American citizen for me. But here's the funny part. This Iranian American who was released never returned back to Iran right after that. He stayed in the U.S., as I found out later on. So in a way, Iran got nothing. So although it's officially a so-called prisoner exchange, in reality it wasn't.
So Mahdi, Michael left. After that, what happened to you?
I got out of the prison couple months before
Yes.
Michael left Iran and left the prison.
Or you were still in Iran, which is a prison.
I was still in the prison,
Yes.
yeah. I was still like scared every day that I'm gonna go back because I went back so many times. Like they put me there 5 times. I was like,
You had been in prison
I was
5
like,
times.
it was a round trip for me, like going,
Yeah.
come back, going, come back. So I wasn't living outside a safe life. I was scared every day. I had nightmares every night. Every time the the door rings or someone knocks on the door, I was thinking, is it gonna be my last moment? Am I gonna be like, what's gonna happen to me?
How long were you like this? You know, of course, in such a
It
terrible
took
situation.
about a year. Well, after he left Iran, they kept our contact, and he was trying to bring me here, and he was serious about that. But now we had the problem of how we're gonna do that, because it's not easy from Iran to US. It's a difficult path. And I started to think that the first step would be for me to leave Iran.
Okay. And what was the easiest country to go to?
It's Turkey. In that border, like, one side is Iran, one side is Turkey. None of them are known for their good treatment of humans. So
not even close.
So I contacted with a smuggler who were like the local people at the border. Like,
Is it easy
Kurdish
to find out smugglers and people who can help you cross
you
the
have to
border
like
to
go
Turkey?
a little bit deeper in social media and find well, it's hard to trust because you don't know them. They could like take your money, they could take you hostage, they could
Be the
do-
regime, maybe? You
Yeah.
never know.
like, it's hard to trust someone just on social media.
So do you find someone on social media?
Yeah,
How much was it?
$2,000.
How did it go?
I contacted Michael. He sent me like $1,000 and a few hundreds. I can't remember exactly how much, but and then like my cousin helped me, and I had a little bit of money. So I put all this money together, and I took a bus to the most close city to the border, and from there, like, the smugglers picked me up, and they kind of took me step by step to different small villages with different cars until we get to the very small village, like probably 12-hour, 8-hour walk from the border in the mountains. In the midnight, totally dark, they gather us 50 to 100 people, and they guide us to a point. We walk for hours and hours, and then we get to the real border point. We can see like the border posts of Turkish police and Iranian police. It's very dangerous at that point because they shoot. And they made these barriers of wires.
When you
and
say they tried to shoot you, who? The
the
Turkish
police
government?
mostly.
Okay.
Everyone was running. It was like Squid Game. Like, whoever gets there first, like, wins.
Wow.
So everyone was running, and there was like, I could hear this gunshots, and I could see like people falling to the ground.
Wow.
And everyone was running.
Like the
So
Squid Game, yeah.
yeah, people dying next to you, and you just running to get to that point where like can cross the border. I hid in like a small hole on the ground for a couple hours until things were a little bit more calm. A few hours later, I came out of the hole and started walking towards Turkey. After walking for so many hours, I was able to get to like a village in the Turkish side.
Some people might wonder, why do you take that risk?
Well, people who are coming from countries like America wouldn't understand. You will get to a point that,
I understand you.
yeah, I saw no future. I couldn't study, I couldn't have a decent job, I couldn't have like, they banned me from everything. And even if I get killed, it's better than just being alive and not living.
So you went to Turkey, but you were planning in coming to the United States. How long were you in Turkey for?
I was there for 18 months, like 1.5 years. I was dodging getting arrested and deported every day.
And Michael, at this point, you are here, you are in America, and you are trying to bring Mahdi here. How do you do it?
Well, it wasn't easy. Various methods were discussed, from him applying for a student visa, which didn't seem too practical, till eventually Mahdi discovered something, and I discovered it too, something called humanitarian parole, which is a backdoor manner to get somebody to claim asylum to come to the U.S. Because normally to claim asylum, you either have to be at the border to the U.S. or in the U.S. And he wasn't either. But this actually allows those whose life is threatened due to political reasons to put in this application to do this process. It's not an easy thing. It's rarely ever granted, especially for that. Usually humanitarian parole is for people who have medical situations that they can address one country that can be addressed in the U.S. Requires a sponsor, which would be me, which I was more than happy to do for him.
Yeah.
And eventually we put together a package on this. And then Mehdi also got lucky. He was able to find a Iranian official at the consulate there to issue him a valid Iranian passport, which was a big holdup before we can get this package put through. If you believe in something strong enough, as I did, I believe for him. Even if he didn't believe for himself, I believe for him. And through that power of belief, things started falling into place. My friend Jonathan Franks, who's my spokesman, had a contact in the State Department who processes humanitarian parole. You can't do it online. You have to mail everything in, documents. Mehdi had to provide stuff too. Lots of work. Jonathan Franks, once I got the receipt number on this thing for the package, I provided him, and then he had a contact who took a hold of this package, reviewed it, and asked for an expedited approval.
Did Michael call you? Were you checking online?
So he sent me the receipt number that we could track the application.
And you can go online and write the
So
receipt
they
number.
told me, the attorney we were working with and Michael, they both told me, well, it's going to take a while because average it takes like more than a year for this request to be answered. So they told me, well, you have to chill and you have to just wait. And one day when I checked the receipt number, I can't remember if it said it's been approved or there's been like the decision made. But I contacted Michael and told him that, yeah, this says we got the answer. And he said, okay, let me check. And he checked and he said, yeah, we got the approval. Now, I couldn't believe that at that moment. It was like, I honestly, right, like 1 hour before that moment, I still didn't believe that it's gonna happen. Like, I was being pessimist up until the time that I got the approval.
Yeah.
And it took maybe like another week or like 5-6 days until I was boarding the plane to US. It was
fast.
Super fast.
Yeah.
And like I never saw something like that.
So you landed at the LAX airport in Los Angeles, California. How do you feel when you landed?
When you land at LAX and you come, and there are like some stairs that you go down, and there's this big American flag and says like the airport name and it says welcome to America. And that was like the moment that I actually took picture of that American flag.
Yeah,
the first American flag I saw here. Michael was there with Jonathan Franks, with a reporter, and I was in US.
I always tell people that the US flag is not for people like that are outside this country, this amazing country, but we grew up under totalitarian regimes like Venezuela, Iran, Cuba. We see the American flag and we just don't see a flag. It is a symbol. It is a symbol of freedom. It is a symbol of prosperity, generosity. And yeah, it's
not just the flag, like other countries' flag, when you look at them, it's just a flag. But the US flag, it's like you said, it's the symbol of so many other things. Like,
yeah, it's the meaning.
It has so much things that come to your mind. But many other countries' flags, no, they're just flags.
Once I picked up Mahdi, we came all the way back to San Diego, and then I set him up in the house that I now own. My mom was there, my brother was there, and they all helped assist him in any way he needed while he was there. Me and all of them as a team to help him integrate. And Mahdi didn't need a whole lot of help, actually. He's very self-sufficient. You know, he got his driver's license on his own. He got a job on his own. He's done this pilot thing on his own. He's done a lot of things on his own amazingly. I mean, he's an amazing person. For me, it was about paying him back because I consider him my brother. I wanted to see how he would grow once he got into an environment where he could grow.
You two are great, amazing examples of what America is at the end. It's a land of opportunities, a land of freedom. And life isn't perfect here, but for sure it's a country where we can pursue our own happiness, our own goals, and that is beautiful and is something that we need to protect. Thank you guys for your time. Thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It was a very good conversation.